the Game Awards 2019, on the 13th, we were patiently awaiting new world premiere announcements of some new and interesting games. Eventually, we got a trailer for a new game. This scene begins with what looks like a helicopter of mercenaries, in flight in first-person view. It then pans down to our character's wrist to reveal a tattoo with the caption "Fight Demons." The helicopter is then struck by something and crashes. Eventually, some familiar imagery begins as we see strange and horrifying mutant creatures. Some have many legs and arms, and others are pale and emaciated. The scenery appears very familiar, yet something new and very beautiful. The graphics are fantastic. Just as the trailer ends and you're thinking you've seen this somewhere before, the title card rolls and we are greeted by this new game's name, Sons of the Forest. So first of all, yes to everyone who asked me. Yes, I will definitely be covering Sons of the Forest on the channel. Now obviously, if you haven't worked it out already, Sons of the Forest is a sequel to the first The Forest game on Steam. The Forest only came out of early access early in the year, and the sequel has already now been announced. So anyway, today I will be analysing and predicting things from the Sons of the Forest trailer. Starting at the beginning of this trailer, most of the information is surface level. We see a collection of what appears to be mercenaries of soldiers of some kind in two helicopters, from the point of view of one of these men. As we look around, we see the tattoo on our wrist that reads "Fight Demons." Now, in the first Forest game, it was ancient devices known as the artifacts that caused the crash of planes and other such aircraft on the peninsula. However, in this trailer, it appears as though a mutant has jumped onto the helicopter, attempting to attack it, and it being killed, but not before damaging the helicopter and causing it to crash. This could be for two main reasons. We see in the first game that to actually bring down an aircraft, the device present on the peninsula is not automated and does require an operator. By the end of the forest, there appears to be no further operator there. After Timmy and his father leave, we don't know whether there is anyone else left on the peninsula after his resurrection. The second reason is probably because this game will not take place on the peninsula at all. In the end credits for The Forest, we see Timmy all grown up, but still suffering from the mutagenic effects incurred from his resurrection by the obelisk. As he sits in his cluttered room, we get a glimpse of a map with the title Site 2 written on it. We can see that it is in fact not the same map as the peninsula, and Site 2 would seem to suggest that it is a second location where these ancient relics and horrific mutants exist. So I believe this is where the second game will be taking place. The next question we have to ask is, are you playing as Timmy or are you just playing as a random character? And either way, what are you doing? I definitely believe that we are playing as Timmy, as his prior knowledge of the peninsula and his first-hand experience with the effects that unfolded there would be very useful to any sort of military operation in Site 2. He also now, as an adult, has a extensive and obsessive amount of... He has now, as an adult, done an extensive and obsessive amount of research on this so-called Site 2, possibly to try and find a cure for whatever is afflicting him during the end credits for The Forest. While it could be a new character, I would be less inclined to believe that, as the title of the game is Sons of the Forest, indicating to us that there must be a relevance in this title, and Timmy was practically reborn on the peninsula, with the help of the dark ancient technology making him a literal son of the forest. But the title does say sons, so there are other mercenaries along with him, and they could possibly be like Timmy. They could have also survived the same forest in the past or come from other sites where this mysterious technology exists. I at least think that there is a chance for this to be the case. In terms of what they are actually doing is more open, As I said before, this could be a band of misfits trying to find cures for their resurrection-induced afflictions, or maybe it's a combination of another idea. We know that the peninsula was purchased by a company known as Sahara Therapeutics. They conducted research into the mutants and ancient technology there in the hopes of curing all disease and achieving immortality. That doesn't quite pan out due to the mutant outbreaks in their facilities present on the peninsula, but I would have to guess that this wasn't their home base or headquarters. I believe that Sahara still exists somewhere and will be looking to see a return on their rather large monetary investment through obtaining more mutant specimens or securing this Site 2 and any ancient artifacts that may be present there due to their extraordinary powers. Continuing on through the trailer, we get to see what I believe is Site 2. It is more or less another forested area, with the game appearing to have a massive graphical overhaul, as the scenery is lush and beautifully crafted. The beauty quickly fades as we get a glimpse of what appears to be a new mutant. And while we only get to see its hand, we can tell from the size comparison between its hand and the people it is grabbing that this mutant must be massive, as it drags its victim off into a large collection of bushes and thrashes them around like a handball. The next scene we see is questionable. It shows a woman crawling along the ground, however her simple actions quickly turn into an elaborate ballet of terrifying proportions, as she eventually sprouts an additional arm and leg. This imagery is similar to that of what we have seen with the Armsies and Virginians of the peninsula, leading me to believe that there is some very similar force at play on Site 2. However, I wouldn't take this scene for face value, as it seems to be more of a vision, hallucination, or fantasy of our main protagonist. Maybe if it is indeed Timmy that we are playing as, his new abilities allow him to see who these mutants once were before their mutations, or something along those lines. As the trailer nears its close, we get to see scenes of our character being surrounded by a number of cave-dwelling mutants that are slightly different from the ones we have seen before. These guys are far more emaciated and lack eyes, as their skin has almost hidden all their facial features. It's possible that these are a new subtype of mutants that have adapted to living in the dark and lightless regions of the underground areas of Site 2. Meaning stealth mechanics might be a new, bigger part of this game, where you might not be able to be seen by these creatures but heard instead, and low noise will be key to your survival in the caves. We also see a number of firearms present in the trailer, meaning that we might have a heftier way of dealing with the mutants of Site 2. However, this might be a mistake in most cases, as the loud sounds of the assault rifle fire would likely draw dozens or more mutants to your location. And with ammunition obviously scarce, I think the firearms will be a last resort type of weapon. While Endnight Games are yet to say much about their new game, we have heard that the game will be more focused on a story narrative than the first, which makes me very excited because that's what the first game really lacked. There is a lot of potential with Sons of the Forest to make an exciting, fun, terrifying, and challenging experience for gamers. Rest assured, Project Archivist will be here to break down all lore and give explain videos for all of it. There's not a current given release window yet, or whether the game will be entered into early access before release or not has not been confirmed, so we will just have to wait and see what comes of this promising title. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification if you never want to miss out on another upload from Project Archivist. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a channel member through the join button on the channel homepage. There is also a link in the description. And with that, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.